What is up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great freaking day. Let me make sure that I'm live here. Um, so, which I should be. I'm not sure. It's loading. Well, I don't know. Hope I am. Anyway, guys. Today, guys, I want to talk to you guys about something that truly matters. And if you're unfamiliar with who I am, my name is Chris Roeder. I run a couple of companies now, and am part of a couple of companies now in the electronics buyback space. I run a company called a coaching company called Recelerator, where we help people get $10,000 in profit per month using systems and automations and stuff like that, and marketing systems. Then I'm part of Mercury Electronics, which is a six-figure per month buyback or direct buyer company. And then I also run a software called Resell Deck that automates a lot of lead generation and stuff for phone flippers and buyback businesses. So that's my background. I've been doing this for nearly a decade at this point. Been crushing it. Can't complain. It's given me the life that I, would have never dreamed of, basically. Anyway, today, guys, I have something that I want to talk about that I think needs to be said. And I've talked about it before, but everybody needs to be reminded more than they need to be taught. A lot of people confuse this business with, they think they're in the phone flipping business. Okay. Like that's what most people believe. And that could honestly be further from the truth. You're not in the phone flipping business. You are in the marketing and sales business. Okay. If you can master those two things, you can master marketing and master how to sell stuff, then you will do very well at this business. Now, and this is something that I learned very early on was, okay, look, if I can just get more leads than everybody else, I can just beat everybody else. I can get to $10,000 a month faster than everybody else. And that's exactly what happened. Okay. So my partner, Aaron Goldstein, talks about this a lot too, because he got incredibly good at negotiation early on. But then he realized because back then we were doing free advertising most of the time, right? And so like getting leads wasn't a big deal. Like there was not really an art to it. There was, you post some free photos and leads would come in, and that's how the game worked back then. That was just a time, 2017, 2018, 2019. That's how marketing worked back then, but things have obviously changed over time. The platforms have moved over to more paid advertising. They don't want as much free advertising anymore. Obviously, they don't make money that way. So I noticed a shift in about 2019 where I simply just realized, like, okay, look, this is something that is going to be a thing. Like paid advertising is going to be the main way that we're going to have to get leads in the future. And I realized that very early on. And the great thing about that was like it was cheap because nobody was spending any money on ads at that point. So Facebook made the barrier of entry a lot shorter, right? A lot easier to get in. So I got in at a really good time. And once I really took advantage of that, I scaled very, very fast. Now, one thing that I noticed was the more that I marketed, the better I did. So the more ads I created, the more creatives I made, the more things I did, the better I just did. And then once I realized that attention was the main medium I needed to start with, then I realized that negotiation and sales was the next part that I needed to hone in on. And then that's when I really started getting aggressive about following up with people. And then that's when the game changed for me. Is I skyrocketed in buying devices because I got better at negotiating and I got better at upselling. Okay. So let me break this all down for you guys. Number one, you need attention, meaning you need to be able to get leads. That is your first problem. And once you fix that problem, you don't have a lot of problems after that. Okay. It's funny. I actually talk about this quite often on the podcast. With Recelerator, we fixed the lead generation problem, right? We teach people 8 different ways on how to get leads. You got marketplaces, you have paid ads, social ads, Google My Business, pawn shops, repair shops, repeat sellers, other resellers, and then there's one more in there. But there's 8 different ways to get leads, okay? And once you master that, it almost becomes impossible to not make money. Oh, look at that. I just got a lead. It's an iPad Air 11. My AI is going to take care of figuring out what issues are with it. That's another thing we got coming down the line, which is pretty cool. But once you figure out the attention issue and like fix that problem, the next problem is just simply figuring out how to negotiate correctly. And once you figure out how to negotiate correctly, which is negotiation is just simply words that close people, right? So using the right words in the right way makes you money. All right. So I'm going to work this lead real quick. I'm going to share my screen, give you guys an example of all of this happening in real time. So let me pull it up here because I got 12:30 meetups. I want to see if I can get this person in. And if I can get them in, that would be fantastic. All right. iPad Air 11 Pro. Just need. Oh, well, they didn't give me the correct details, so that's okay. Let me share my screen here. Okay. So this person here, iPad Air 11, not sure which one. Okay. Well, let's just make an offer here. Go to eBay, type in iPad Air 11, iPad Air 11. So I'm just going to make a offer based on the lowest one that I see because they didn't give me a lot of information, and I don't want to ask a ton of questions because the more questions I ask, this goes into the negotiation part too, right? Like the more questions I ask, the more people are going to be like, oh, my device is probably worth more than blah, 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 right? So let's see here. iPad Air 11. Let's see, 250, 355. What is wrong with this one? I'm off for 180. Okay, moving back. I have been buying these for $180. All right, boom, deal. We'll see what they say. Anyway, moving back to all of this, guys, like negotiation is one of the main drivers after you get the attention, right? Everything happens in a sequence, meaning you need to get the leads first. Okay, you have to get the leads first before anything else. Okay, and then you have to fix your negotiation problem, which most people have because a lot of people just simply talk too much. So you're in the marketing and sales business. You're just applying it to phone flipping or buybacks, right? So, and if you can master those 2 skills, you will just win in this game. Okay, that's just how it works. Now, here's a problem. One thing with Recelerator that we didn't realize was happening was we taught people the correct way to fix their lead generation problem. We even set up their systems for them. We did the stuff, right? They were getting Facebook leads. They were getting all that stuff. Aaron Goldstein is our negotiation coach. He handles that. He teaches people how to negotiate correctly. One thing we did not realize that was going to happen, and this is the third part that is part of the sales process, was you also need to sell the stuff after you buy it. I know that seems just like dummy simple, but it was an issue that we were running into. Is we taught people how to fix their lead generation, how to get leads. But one thing, people are like, they would just stockpile devices, which was so weird to me. And then they would be like, well, I'm out of money now. I guess I should probably like sell some stuff. That is not how the game works. Okay. You need to be buying things and then getting it listed. That way it sells faster. Okay. A lot of you guys are not running like stores, like pawn shops, and you're not regulated by pawn laws because you're just some dude working from your house. Like now, once you get a store, all of that stuff comes into account, right? You have to hold devices for a certain amount of time, all of this stuff. But right now, like you just working out of your house, that's not the case. So you should be selling stuff as fast as possible. Okay? Get the device, list it, track it, ship it. Okay? I go as far to even say this as like, as soon as you buy the device, you should track it. You should bring your freaking computer with you to wherever you're buying stuff, pull up your spreadsheet, track it as soon as you buy it because you will forget how much you paid for it. All right? I've done it so many times, just speaking from experience here. So if you bring your computer or whatever with you to the deal, you buy the thing. I got a deal here at 12:30 here in a little bit, right after a call that I have. I'm bringing my computer with me. It's a 16 Pro Max that I'm buying for $420. So, and proof, right? I'm big on proof. I'll just show you guys. So you know I'm not talking out of my ass here. Here we go. There we go. This one right here. So just so you guys can see it, 16 Pro Max. Thanks, got it 1 sec. That was my AI. Okay, we've been buying those for $420. Okay, at Simlock, does that matter? No, that's how I price it. Bam, address. Bam, times. Which time works best? I'll come by and see you then and have any blah, blah, blah. I don't keep inventory. I'm sorry, because I don't. Okay, no problem. 12:30 works better. Great. On items over $300, I usually pay with Cash App. Is that okay? That's fine. Awesome. I'll book you in. Thanks. Whenever you come, just make sure the device can be erased and bring a valid ID for the bill of sale and blah, blah, blah. Can't wait to earn your business. I will. Boom. Okay? Like, just so you guys know that I'm not like over here lying. I am closing deals. This is what I do. This is like, to me, this is like easy because I have the skill, right? I have the skill. I've had the skill for years at this point, and that's why it looks so easy for people like me, is because I've been in the game long enough. And I also realize that it's a marketing and a sales game. It is not I can pay the best price game. That does not mean shit. Okay? Like, if you respond fast, if you market better, if you negotiate better and don't most of you guys, I'm going to be real, most of you guys talk yourselves out of deals like every single day. Like, that's what happens. You notice how, like, let me pull it up again, how like simple I was talking, right? So we go back here real fast. We got, oh, look, my thing is going again. Okay, so this is a good example, right? Thanks. 1 sec. I've been buying those for $180. Okay, I'll pass. I bought that iPad Air for $700. So my AI responded again. Gotta freaking fix that. I'll fix it later. Anyway, maybe I am missing some info. Is this an M2 or M3? So this is part of the bullet negotiation script right here, right? So they said iPad Air. My AI was like, thanks, any issues, blah, 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 boom, boom. Anyway, just need cash, thanks, got it 1 sec, blah, blah. I've been buying these for $180 because they didn't give me any more details, right? They didn't give me enough details to make an accurate offer, right? So what I did is I just lowballed, okay? And then they were like, I'll pass, blah, blah, blah. Thanks, got it 1 sec. Maybe I'm missing some info. I like to do this a lot, where I'll just be like, maybe I'm just missing some info here, because maybe I am. They didn't give me all the info. I don't know which generation it is. I just assumed it was the first one, right? So by asking that, and notice how simple I'm asking these questions, guys. Like, I'm not like giving people reasons on my prices. I'm not like doing any of that. People do not care. They do not care. All they want to know is, can you give me cash today? Okay? And that's where we benefit, right? So once again, marketing and sales business. You're not in the phone flipping business. Stop looking at it that way. You are in the marketing and sales business. How can you get more eyeballs on your ads, on your stuff, on whatever you're doing? Because I'm going to be real with you guys. Like, attention is the new economy. It's the attention economy. Okay? If you can get in front of more people, you will make more money. That's just how it works. Okay. Now you can take a step further. If you can get in front of more of the right people, you will make more money. Right? So you have to fix the marketing part first. That's where most of you, because I get a lot of people in my DMs and they're just like, Chris, I'm just not getting enough deals. There's not enough deals in my area. There are deals guys, everybody in the United States has 10 devices hooked up to Wi-Fi in their house at all times. There are plenty of deals. You just need to know how to create them. Okay? So here's how you do that. Number one is marketing. Okay? You have starting with everything you buy. Most of you, there's 7 people on this. How many of you guys only buy iPhones? Drop a 1 in the chat if you only buy iPhones. Drop a 2 if you buy iPhones, MacBooks, smartwatches, cameras, and other stuff, right? Because I'm going to be real with you guys. That is where the money is. That's where the money is. The iPhone or whatever is just the gateway. The phone is the gateway, all right? Having the devices or having the ads that say I buy iPhones, that's the first part. That's just the gateway item. Once you get into the drones, the MacBooks, the iPads, the smartwatches, the cameras, you're going to make a lot more money. I made $850 in profit on a drone the other day. $850. You know how many iPhones it would have taken me to make $850? It would have taken me like 8, right? So just by simply getting into these other devices, you increase your marketing efforts and your sales efforts, okay? You also become much more valuable to your customer. And once you become more valuable to your customer, you are just simply going to make more money, okay? It's because, oh, I know Chris, yeah, he probably buys these iPads, or he'd probably buy this drone, or he'd probably buy this freaking weird freaking Zune recorder thing that, and I bought it for $50. It'll sell for like 160, right? Or maybe he'll buy these Wayfair story glasses, or maybe he'll buy a Mac Studio, right? By the way, those Mac Studios, I'm gonna make like over $1,000 in profit each on those. So like, or maybe he'll buy this MacBook, right? Or maybe that maybe turns into thousands of dollars for you. Okay? So that's one way to increase your marketing efforts too, is just by buying more than an iPhone. And once you do that, you will make a lot more money. I make more money on the items outside of iPhones than I ever make on the iPhones themselves. Now I'm not saying like don't buy iPhones. That's dumb. Like that's stupid, right? Like 60% of the US population has an iPhone. It makes sense to buy an iPhone from them, right? There's just more competition when it comes to iPhones. That's just the game, right? People are out there with their courses and stuff teaching iPhone flipping, right? Do I have a course? Yeah, I do. But I teach you how to buy a lot more than just an iPhone. Like we teach game consoles, MacBooks, smartwatches, cameras. Like there's a lot more money. Just yesterday I had somebody finished Buyback Academy, so they got a free call with me. And I sourced their area. I found them 3 deals. One of those deals was literally a $400 profit at the price that it was listed. It was listed for $400 on Marketplace. All total, it would have sold for $850, $900 total on eBay. It was just sitting there. And that's what I'm saying is like, you got to uncover or take the blinders off whenever it comes to these other items, because once you start buying other items, it expands what you can market to, right? We got guys in my program now. We just launched a camera flipping course with one of my students because she's doing amazing with cameras. I didn't want to build another course because I already have my thing and I'm doing incredibly well with it, and I'm just going to keep going with it. Anyway, I helped her launch it. And like these guys are doing amazing with cameras. She had a $2,100 flip on a camera. $2,100 profit, not sales, profit, right? That's another really underserved market right now is cameras and drones and things like that. It's like nobody's buying those things, right? If you can be one of the people that, like, even if you don't like lead with it, Like, it can be one of the things that you market, right? So that's really all I have to say today, actually. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them. I'd be happy to answer them. But I just want to be clear, guys. Like, you guys are in the marketing and sales business. You are not in the quote unquote phone flipping business. All right. And I think that's where a lot of people they get caught up is they think they're like, I'm gonna be real with you guys, the phone flipping business is just a name. Like, it is not a quote unquote business, right? It is everything comes back to marketing and sales. Everything. So those are the main skills that you need to hone. Those are the main skills that you need to invest in. Those are the main skills that you need to perfect. Okay? Because that is what is going to move you forward. It is not being able to pay a higher price than your competitor. That's not going to move you forward. Guys, there are people in my area in Houston, Texas that pay more than me, and I make more than them, doing like 3 times less work. That's true. And then they're reaching out to me and they're like, blah, blah, blah. Because here's why. Like, a lot of them don't do any marketing. They think that the best way to market is word of mouth and like having the best location. That's not true. Does it kind of help? Yeah. I meet people at a damn Starbucks still to this day. All right? Like, you don't need a store. You don't need a physical location to make this business work. You just don't. That's a very limiting belief that most of you have, is you think you have to have all of this stuff, all of this, like, all the things, right? You don't. And I've seen so many people drive themselves into the ground by going and getting those things first. They get the store, they get the location, right? And then they're wondering why they're not making money when they're paying $3,000 a month in rent. Guys, no, don't do that. Like, just run the game as I've taught for so many years. Just get good at marketing and negotiation and sales. If you can get good at those 2 things, you will just win. Okay? That's all I have to say, is you will simply just win if you just focus on that and that alone. So, I hope you guys liked this. I have a call with somebody who recently finished Buyback Academy. So I got to do that with him and help him find some deals and, all of that stuff, and hope, get him to become a seller to Mercury Electronics, so that we can buy his devices. And then I got to go pick up a phone, at 12:30 and maybe an iPad. So, yeah. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys got some value out of this video. If you did, just type value in the comments below. I'll probably start doing more of these soon. Little rants, I guess. But with that being said, guys, love you guys. I hope you guys are crushing it. I hope you guys are selling devices to Mercury Electronics. If you're not, why not? Pay faster than everybody else. We talk better than everybody else. Aaron's a fantastic operator, so highly recommend sending devices in. All right, with that being said, guys, hope you guys have a great day and keep crushing it. See you guys later. Bye. Oh, before I go, join the free school community. Just don't get banned. All right, 5 days. If you don't finish the course within 5 days, you get banned. Now I'm out.